We're live.
We are live. I don't know if anyone is watching us yet. We don't start for another 2 minutes, but hello if you are.
I can see. 0 people for now.
0 people for now.
Mhm.
Cool. I guess we just talk to ourselves and see if it starts.
Just talk to ourselves. I wonder if anybody is stealthily watching. Oh, we've got 2 people watching. Hello, welcome.
Hello, guys.
Hello, Francois. Where are you? Are you in France? Our first comment. So exciting. We've got 1 minute to go, so we'll just wait till 11 o'clock before we start the broadcast.
So who do we have? We have Francois and
Ignan, the best place to be.
Nice.
Ooh, we have 3 people watching now. How exciting. Okay.
How are you all this morning? Are you well? Staying active?
Hello, Luca from Nevada, Milan. Welcome. Wow, we have 6 people now.
Hi.
Shall we get started, Fabio?
Okay, let's get started. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I'm Fabio.
And I'm Catherine.
And we are from Maya's Lyon.
This is hi, I'm Maya. This is our first ever webinar today. So we're very excited to speak to you all. Don't hesitate to leave a comment about where you are watching us from. See some people from France, some people from Italy. Welcome, everybody.
Fantastic. So our focus activity today, everyone, is about
natural disasters. Dun, dun, dun.
So what are we studying today? In this focus activity, we will study vocabulary for natural disasters.
Present perfect versus past simple to talk about recent world disasters.
Preparing a safety plan.
And an interview with a survivor. Are you ready, Fabio?
I think so. Are you ready, Catherine?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, let's do this. So, first question, Catherine, is...
what are natural disasters?
Not an easy question to answer. Do you have any ideas, guys? Let us know. What do you think? What are natural disasters?
Oh, I can see some of our students in the chat, Fabio. We have Tatiana.
Hey, Tatiana.
Florian.
Hi, Florian.
Simone from Italy.
Nice. Hi, Simone.
Very happy to see you all. But we need your answers. What is a natural disaster? Write us what you think.
Quite difficult to define a natural disaster. I think the definition will be a little complicated. Let's see what people have.
Ooh, our colleague Amaya says, my kitchen is a natural disaster. Very funny, Amaya. Does anybody else have an example or an idea? Ooh. Francois says, a disaster created by nature. Yes.
That's very good.
There, Francois.
What does a disaster mean? What is a disaster?
Ooh. Here, Luca has some great examples. Could be a hurricane, a tsunami, an earthquake, and so on. Yes.
Very good.
Shall we see the definition, Fabio?
Absolutely. Let's have a look. So, natural disasters are extreme sudden events caused by environmental factors that injure people and cause extensive damage. They can strike anywhere in the world, often without warning. So there is a lot of information there. Let's break that down a little bit. Catherine, what does sudden mean?
Ooh, sudden means it arrives like that, with no warning, no preparation. Bam!
Yeah, that sounds right to me. And how about environmental factors?
Ooh, I wonder if anybody in the comments has an idea. What are environmental factors? Ooh, Tatiana says it's a catastrophe provoked by nature.
That's good.
That's really important, that connection with nature and the environment, exactly, the natural world around us.
Fantastic. How about this? The natural disasters injure people. So to injure is a verb. What is the noun? If I am injured, ow, I have an... Ow.
Does anybody know in the comments? Yes, you're right, Simone. The verb is to injure. And what is yes, Carlos has it. Injury. Bravo,
Good,
Carlos.
yes. An injury. Good,
well.
yes. Ow, it hurts. I have an injury. Good, absolutely. So natural disasters can injure people and damage cities, buildings, etc. How about this word, to strike? Do you know a synonym for strike?
Oh, I see our colleague Drew has joined the chat. Hello, Drew.
Hi, Drew. We could use this word in, for example, in a sport when we strike a ball, for example, or in a violent confrontation when you strike an opponent.
Carlos.
Or, for example,
Carlos has it, I think.
Yeah,
hit.
Good. To strike or hit. Absolutely.
Tatiana too. Oh, Drew
Very
says
good.
wallop.
Wallop.
That is a very creative word. Very descriptive. Wallop.
Another potential synonym for strike or hit. Maybe less common, but very good.
To bring down.
Oh, wow.
I love
nice
it.
phrasal verb.
To bring down.
Okay, so this is our definition, and let's look at some examples. Please read, Catherine.
Natural disasters. Brainstorm a list of natural disasters. How many can you think of?
So we'll give you 10, 15 seconds. Type. How many natural disasters can you think of, apart from Amaya's kitchen?
There might be an unnatural disaster in Amaya's kitchen, I think. Ooh, getting some great answers coming in already. Let's see. The first one we have here is flood.
Very good.
What's a flood? Somebody says, now this is a very good, I think it's a joke, but it's a good question actually. Is coronavirus a natural disaster?
That is a very good question. Let's look at our definition again, because I think it's a little ambiguous, in fact. So coronavirus is an extreme sudden event, sure. It certainly injures people and causes damage. It certainly struck without warning. I guess the one thing that I'm not sure about is environmental factors. Is I suppose we humans and bats also are part of the environment, so we could consider a pandemic or an epidemic natural disaster. But normally, does that fit into our description, our definition of what a natural disaster is, Catherine?
It's true that we usually think about something caused by nature, like an extreme event in nature, but I know it's a debate. I mean, even I can see in our comments, there's a bit of a debate about it. So
yeah, hard to say. It's definitely not what we would normally refer to as a natural disaster virus, but I can see an argument that we could include this in our definition, certainly. Fantastic. Any other good ones that have been suggested?
Let's see. We have lots of good ones. Let me look through the comments. Okay, we have Death Picks, who suggests 3: tsunami, earthquake, and a storm. Thank you for that comment.
Very nice.
What else do we have here? Hurricane.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh, Tatiana has mentioned the word typhoon. What's a typhoon, Fabio?
That's a good question. Does anyone know in the comments? A typhoon? Anyone? So it's basically like a cyclone, like a sort of tropical cyclone.
I believe that in Asia, we use the term typhoon, and in other parts of the world, we use the term cyclone. But it's more or less the same thing. What else do we have? Volcanic eruption. Great one, Amaya. Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Hello, welcome to the new people who've joined our chat. Very happy to have you here.
Let's have a look at the list, shall we, Catherine? Because some great suggestions here, and most of these our friends have suggested already. So let's have a look. First, earthquake. Can you repeat that?
Earthquake. Everybody at home, we want you to practice the pronunciation too. This is quite tricky, especially for our French speakers. Earthquake.
Don't be embarrassed if your family is watching you.
We are doing this in front of 30 people, so
Next,
we have no shame.
We have a tsunami. Notice the T is silent. Tsunami.
Tsunami. What is a tsunami, in fact?
Good question.
In the comments, can somebody describe a tsunami? Anybody?
So a tsunami is a big wave. Not this type of wave. Hello, but this type of wave from the sea.
Yeah, a giant wave.
And an earthquake. What does the earth do when there's an earthquake, Catherine?
It shakes. The ground moves and sways.
Okay, next word we have is heat wave. Heat wave. Remember the sound, everyone. If you are repeating this at home, I would like you to go heat wave.
Okay, next on the list, as we had suggested in our comments, is a volcanic eruption.
Volcanic eruption from a volcano. What are some famous volcanoes, Catherine?
Well, I think there's a very famous one in Italy. I wonder if somebody in the comments knows what it is. Mount in Sicily, I believe. What's the volcano in Italy? Yes, here we have our winner.
Very good. Mount Etna. Next, we have an avalanche. What's an avalanche, Catherine?
It's when there is a mountain with lots of snow on it, and suddenly the snow falls down, the snow collapses. Unfortunately, sometimes people who are skiing can be covered by the snow. Lots of people are suggesting other Vesuvius, very, very famous volcano,
yeah.
Stromboli. Great.
Very good. Catherine, would you like to read the next one?
The next one, now careful with the pronunciation, it's flood.
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 So what's a flood then?
Flood.
So a flood, I hope someone is typing away quickly now, is when there is a lot of water. Maybe there is a lot of rain and the level of the water rises and it covers people's homes and you need to travel in a boat, maybe.
Exactly. When a river goes up, says Simone. Perfect.
Simone's definition was much better than mine. More simple.
Francois says a lot of rain.
It can be caused by a lot of rain. Absolutely. Next word is, Catherine?
A landslide.
What is a landslide? Apart from an excellent song by Fleetwood Mac. So a landslide is when very similar to an avalanche, but with rocks instead of snow. When lots of rocks fall from a mountain or a cliff and they can crush what is beneath them.
Perhaps this could be caused by an earthquake, in fact. When the ground shakes, then the rocks might fall down the mountain.
Very good.
Okay, next one on the list, we have severe, so very serious, severe thunderstorm. I want everybody to repeat thunderstorm, please.
Thunder.
Thunderstorm. What is thunder? Can somebody write in the comments? Thunder.
Severe thunderstorm. Quite difficult to pronounce that.
Ooh, here we go. Ooh.
Very good. And with thunder, we often have
Harry Potter has what on his head? Thunder and
lightning.
Lightning. Yes, Francois has.
There we go.
Careful of the spelling.
Lightning.
Perfect, Francois. Lightning.
Very good. Okay, next we have. Very good. Nice use of emojis, Amaya. Next we have a blizzard. Blizzard. So a blizzard is similar to a storm, except we don't have rain. Instead, we have, Catherine?
We have snow.
Yes, lots and lots of snow.
Exactly. Tatiana, you got it. A snowstorm. That could be another name for a blizzard.
Next up, Catherine.
We have tornado.
Could you show us the tornado, Catherine?
Sorry, I'm laughing at the comment. The type of ice cream. Now, Amaya is from Canada.
I'm guessing that's a blizzard.
Is that a blizzard or a tornado, Amaya? I'm not sure. Does anybody know what kind of ice cream this is?
If you had to name an ice cream after a natural disaster, what would you name your ice cream? I think I'd go for an avalanche, personally. Although a blizzard could be tasty too. I imagine it'd be quite sharp. So what's a tornado anyway, Catherine?
Sorry, I need to remove this ice cream comment. I'm a bit distracted. Thanks, Amaya. Another name for a tornado, I think, is a twister. It's when there is wind that travels like this.
Very good, yeah.
Yes, Gabriella says tornadoes when the wind is very, very hard. We could say very, very strong, maybe. Very, lots of force. Great comment, Gabriella. Next one, Fabio.
Forest fire. Are there some other names for this, Catherine?
I know I'm from New Zealand and we say bushfire in New Zealand. And I think another name that's quite common around the world is wildfire as well.
Absolutely.
Wildfire. Let me write a comment for you.
And
there. Oh dear, we've lost Fabio. It's just me. Hello, everybody. I hope Fabio comes back soon. So yes, Debs, we say bushfire. In New Zealand and Australia, the bush is another name for the forest or the woods. And the next one on the list, I'm just going to look for the slides until Fabio comes back. Bear with me. The next one on the list, I believe, was drought. Now, does anybody... Thanks, Drew. I enjoy that comment from you. The next one on the list is drought. Does anybody know what drought is? Put a comment while I get Fabio back. What is drought? Yes, exactly. It is soil dryness. Oh, here is Fabio.
sorry,
You're back, Fabio.
I'm back. Sorry about my internet connection decided to have its own natural disaster for a moment.
Oh dear. We're just discussing drought. So yes, we have soil dryness, warm weather. When it doesn't rain for many days, that's it. A lack of water, really. That's the problem.
Okay. So next question is, Catherine.
What do you think is the worst type of natural disaster and why?
Good question. That's hard to decide. I'm not sure what I think is the worst. I would say maybe a tsunami or a volcanic eruption would be the most destructive, the most devastating, although I have not experienced any personally. So it's hard to say apart from seeing pictures on the news. I suppose they all come in varying degrees. Earthquakes can be very devastating too and can destroy entire cities.
So
What do you
Alex
think?
has a very good point. It depends where you live. So I know we have a lot of viewers in Italy. So for example, in Italy, what do you think is the worst type of disaster? And maybe our French students, we can see if you agree or disagree. Ooh, Luca says, the worst type of natural disaster is a tsunami because the water is very difficult to stop. That's true. We can't really do anything, can we? If the tsunami arrives. Okay, Simone says an earthquake because it's the word you want there is unpredictable. When we cannot predict, when we cannot anticipate, unpredictable. Here we go.
That's a good word, yeah.
Oh, earthquake because you lose everything. Yes. Unpredictable. Cannot predict it.
How many syllables there? Unpredictable. Where's the stress on this word, Catherine? Unpredictable.
Let's see. Unpredictable for me. The first and the third syllable. Unpredictable.
Yeah, good. Unpredictable. Absolutely.
Tatiana says, a blizzard isn't really a disaster. It's just normal kind of weather in Russia. But I suppose you're prepared for it, Tatiana. But if somebody from Australia was in a blizzard, they might panic a bit more.
I imagine so. So this brings us... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying earthquakes.
Yeah.
So next question, Fabio.
This connects us nicely to our next question. Have you or ever experienced a natural disaster? And if so, what happened? While people write in the comments, how about you, Catherine? Have you ever experienced a natural disaster?
So fortunately, I've never experienced something truly devastating or life-changing. But in New Zealand, we do frequently have earthquakes. Normally, they're quite small, but I have experienced one or two quite serious earthquakes. One was when I was at university. I was working in a shop. In the middle of the day, the ground started shaking. We had some parts of the shops on the ceiling. Some things fell down. Luckily, there was no major damage, but it was quite scary.
Yeah, I imagine that is quite scary.
What about you, Fabio?
No, never really. I used to live in Naples in the south of Italy. And when I lived there, twice there were earthquakes during the night. But I was fast asleep. And in the morning, all my friends said, "Did you feel the earthquake last night?" And I did not, because I was asleep. So I guess technically I have, I have not experienced a natural disaster because I was asleep. So yeah, no, never.
So we have some of our first comments coming in here. Death Pig says she's experienced a tornado.
Wow.
In New York City, and that it was really scary. I bet it was. She also says, in England, they have rain. It's a natural disaster. What do you think about that slanderous comment, Fabio?
Well, actually, it's funny you should say that, Death Pix, because statistically, here in Lyon, we have more days of rain than in London. Yeah, I think the British reputation for having lots and lots of rain is possibly exaggerated a little. Also, I recently discovered Istanbul has more days of rain per year than London. Fun fact.
We have quite a few people who've experienced earthquakes.
Oh,
Gabriella in Emilia. Simone, oh dear, says earthquake and flooding. Oh dear, in Parma.
Yeah, that part of the country has a lot of problems with things like that. Lots of bad earthquakes in recent years.
Florian says an earthquake when his plane landed. I think that's a joke. Was it a bumpy landing? Otherwise, very, very unfortunate timing.
Yeah, if that's actually an earthquake when his plane landed, then can't have been fun.
More earthquakes.
Yeah, the one in Abruzzo was very destructive, I remember.
Flooding, severe thunderstorms. Yeah, often in the south of France, they have a big problem with flooding. Sandrine says, a flood. Oh no, was that your house?
Wow.
Sandrine. I'm very sorry to hear that.
That's horrible.
Somewhere in France, I'm guessing.
Yeah, people lose a lot with these natural disasters. So, next question, Catherine, is...
Have there been any natural disasters in the world recently? What happened? What caused it? Were there any casualties or fatalities? What does that word mean? A fatality?
There's a subtle difference between casualties and fatalities, isn't there, Catherine? Because, I mean, hopefully someone is writing in the comments now, but a casualty is anyone who is injured or killed by a disaster or by a war, or I don't know, a crime, for example. And a fatality, is that anyone who was injured or killed?
A fatality, here we have the connection with the word fatal, which is an adjective. What does fatal mean, Fabio?
It means it can kill you. No, it means it kills you, in fact.
Kills you, yes. So we can imagine if it can kill us or if it kills us, a fatality is a death, unfortunately. So the number of people who die, these are the fatalities.
So we could say in the landslide, there were 100 casualties, so 100 people injured or killed, and there were 10 fatalities, 10 people who did not survive. So when we say, have there been any natural disasters in the world recently? Recently, not a long time ago. Which tense are we using there, Catherine?
That's the present perfect, Fabio.
That is the present perfect, yes. And so we could say, recently there has been an earthquake. Recently there has been a flood. What's another word we can use instead of recently? Perhaps
lately.
That's good. And another one we use with the present perfect is also just. That's another one. If it's very, very recent. So if something happened yesterday and you turn on the news, there has just been a cyclone in somewhere in Asia, probably. So yeah, what natural disasters have there been recently? Obviously, we're in the middle of a big disaster. Again, whether we can call it a natural disaster or not, probably the biggest disaster of our lifetime is happening now in the pandemic. But what other natural disasters? There's a good one, yeah.
In fact, I don't actually know. Have the bushfires finished now, or are they still going? We've been so occupied with the coronavirus that we've forgotten about other news, but there were some very, very bad bushfires in Australia, and I think you're right, caused by the dry atmosphere. And remember that word, drought. There's a big problem in Australia, not a lot of water or rain, very hot and dry. Death Pix says the Amazon wildfires, that's true. Sandrine says last month's earthquake in the south of France. The roads closed and people had to move to another house. And yes, very good point here. Back to our question about casualties and fatalities. The bushfire in Australia caused the death of many animals. That's right. It's not only humans that can die or that can be pay the price, I guess, for natural disasters. Gabriela says an earthquake in Zagabri. I don't know how to say that. A few days ago. So lots of earthquakes.
Turbulent times. Okay, and I think we've answered this question. Let's continue to the next slide. So we're talking about cause and effect. What causes each disaster? So we'd like to match each disaster to its possible cause. So our disasters are landslide. Next one, Catherine.
Drought.
Wildfire.
Tornado.
And avalanche. And our causes are, the first one, please, Catherine.
Lightning, carelessness, arson, volcanic eruption.
And the next cause is unstable air in the atmosphere.
Number 3, severe deficiency in water supply.
And number 4, when a buildup of material is released. A buildup, what could a synonym be for buildup?
Perhaps accumulation.
That's a good one.
A gathering? No, let's use
accumulation.
Accumulation is better. And number 5, earthquake, volcanic eruptions, or general instability in the surrounding land.
Okay, so we have 5 definitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Landslide. Oh, a question from Luca.
Fabio, a very good question. I'm sure many people are wondering the same thing. What are carelessness and arson? Great question, Luca.
So if I take precautions, for example, if I'm driving, if I drive very slowly and I wear my seat belt, am I careful or careless, Catherine?
If you're taking precautions, you are careful.
And the opposite of that is?
Careless. So that's
careless.
That's the adjectives, careful and careless. Now the noun, the act of not being careful, we could say carelessness. That's the noun. Maybe if you're smoking a cigarette and you throw it to the ground without thinking.
On your telephone while you are driving, for example, is carelessness. And yes, in this case, throwing a cigarette on the ground, which brings us nicely to arson. So if somebody sets fire to something, ignites something intentionally, for example, I don't know, with petrol and a match, and they burn a house or a car or even a forest, I suppose, then this act is arson.
And a criminal who does this, they are an arsonist. Yes. Let me check the comments. They look good. So back to landslide.
So is it definition 1, 2, is it cause 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? What causes a landslide? Is it 1, lightning, carelessness, etc.? 2, unstable air. 3, deficiency in water supply. 4, release of a buildup of material. Or 5, earthquake, volcanic eruptions, etc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ooh, Alex says 5. Deathpick says 5. What's the answer, Fabio?
Let's have a look. The answer is 5. Well done, guys.
Well done. 1 point to you.
1 point to everyone who said number 5. How about a drought? Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? I can reveal the answer is...
Some people are saying
number
3. Yeah,
very
bravo.
good. Well done, guys.
Alexandre, Luca all said number 3.
1 point to each of you. And a wildfire. What is wildfire caused by? Is it 1, 2, or 4? Answers on a postcard to the usual address.
Ooh, we have some people saying 1, some people saying 2.
Let's see who's correct. The answer is number 1. Wildfire is caused by lightning, carelessness, arson, or a volcanic eruption.
Congratulations to everybody who got that correct.
Next, a tornado. Number 2 or number 4?
Lots of people saying 2.
Let's see if they're correct. That's right. A tornado is caused by unstable air in the atmosphere. Unstable is an adjective. What would the noun be? Instability. Instability, yeah.
Instability?
Instability is also, yeah, both are acceptable, I think. I would say instability more, I think. And an avalanche then is, of course, caused when a build-up and accumulation of material, in particular snow, I guess, is released. Okay, so good job, everyone. Let's continue. True or false, Catherine?
Are natural disasters always a bad thing? See if you can figure out which phrases are true. So which ones are correct? Number one, Fabio. What's the myth?
Shouting. Oh, sorry. So shouting loudly. Shouting loudly can cause an avalanche. Do you think that's true? Let's read through all of them before getting people to give answers. Number 2, Catherine.
Small forest fires can be good for the ecosystem.
Number 3, volcanoes add nutrients to the soil.
Number 4, tsunamis can only travel for about 100 miles.
I can only travel for about 1 kilometer at the moment. Number 5, there are thousands of earthquakes across the earth each day, every day.
Number 6, 3 out of every 4 tornadoes happen in the US.
Wow, it sounds like a lot.
So what do you think, everybody? Number 1, true or false?
What do you think, Catherine? Shouting loudly can cause an avalanche. Do you think that's true?
I suppose the thinking is that maybe a loud noise can create vibrations that could destabilize the earth. But I think it might be fake news. Let's see what our comments say.
I don't know. I can shout pretty loudly.
Okay.
I think I could cause an avalanche.
Ooh,
what do our comments think?
Some people, it's about 50-50. Some people saying
Nice.
true, some people saying false.
Let's see, shall we? The answer is it is false. No matter how loudly you shout, you cannot cause an avalanche. So go to the mountains and shout as loudly as you want. The only danger is you will attract the attention of bears and wolves. Number 2. True or false?
Death Pick says that in every movie, well, I guess you can't believe everything you see in the movies. Not true. But number 2, lots of people saying true.
Yeah, that seems logical to me. Let's see if they're correct. Yes, it is true. Why is it true, Catherine?
It can remove dead brush and allow for new growth.
Brush, like for your hair. I'm not a good example for this.
I think I need to brush my hair, that's for sure. Here in this context of the forest or the bush, I think brush means lots of dry, perhaps dead plant matter that is very, very fragile, can easily catch fire. Yes, you're right. Death Pick says that they also do it in agriculture. Sometimes they that's right. It's a technique, in fact, to deliberately burn some land. Great. Next question, number 3.
True or false? What do you think, Catherine?
Saying? I feel like true, perhaps, because I suppose many interesting things are released during an eruption. Alessio thinks true. What do other people think? Alex thinks true. Tatiana thinks true. Let's find out, Fabio.
Ding, correct. They allow for new crops. What is a crop?
It's a plant that we grow for food. Maybe like corn or vegetables, I suppose, wheat to make bread.
Yeah, that sounds good. And of course, we always see near volcanoes. For example, in Italy, I know near Mount Vesuvius, for example, they have a very fertile land that has a lot of very good fruit and vegetables. Number 4, tsunamis can only travel for about 100 miles. Is that true or false?
Bonus question. How many kilometers is 100 miles?
Funny you should say that. I was just Googling it as you asked.
Okay, lots of people saying false, fake news.
How many miles is there in? How many kilometers is there in 100 miles, Catherine? Do you know?
I have no idea.
No. So 100 miles in kilometers is 160 kilometers.
Oh.
So tsunamis can only travel for about 160 kilometers. True or false? The answer is false. They can travel for thousands and thousands of miles, which is thousands and 600s of kilometers. How about number 5, Catherine?
There are thousands of earthquakes across the earth every day. I think true. We may not feel them. They might be very small, but I think the earth is always moving. But let's see what our students think. Alessio thinks true. Carlos thinks true.
Let's see, shall we? The answer is true. Most are too small to be detected. Well done, Catherine. You know your earthquakes. You're a good Kiwi. And finally, 3 out of every 4 tornadoes happen in the United States of America. Is that true or is it false? Is it correct or is it a shameful lie?
Oh. And now I know one of our American colleagues is in the comments. I wonder what she thinks about this. There's people saying true.
Let's have a look, shall we? Is it true or false? It's true. 3 out of every 4 tornadoes happens in the United States. Wow, that is a lot, isn't it?
And I think there's even a specific region. It's got a special name. What is it?
Tornado Alley? Tornado Avenue? Tornado Alley, I think.
Tornado Alley. Yeah, Texas. I think you're right, Simone, where they have a tornado season every year.
Absolutely. Okay, so we have 5 more minutes. So our final activity that we will have time for is some safety tips. What are tips, Catherine?
Could be like recommendations, advice, suggestions.
Perfect. I like that. So what should you do in each of these situations?
For example, if there is an earthquake, you should what should you do if there's an earthquake?
While they're typing their suggestions, let's read the suggestions here. Run to higher ground, or
move to an open space,
or stay inside,
evacuate immediately,
call emergency crews,
drink lots of water,
conserve or save water,
run to a basement. So the basement is usually under your house for protection.
Seek shelter. Shelter is an interesting word, isn't it? So
protection, somewhere you're safe, out of risk.
That's a good definition. Or other. So do we have any suggestions what you should do in an earthquake?
Yes, lots of great suggestions. Simone says stay in a specific part of your house. For example, under a table. Maya also says hide under a table. Some people say you should evacuate immediately. Florian says a glass table. Perhaps not. I think there are tables made of glass. Maybe not the best place. François says stay inside. I know in New Zealand, we are taught to first hide under a table if possible, protect yourself inside. And then when the earthquake is finished, then you should evacuate. You should go outside to an open space, somewhere where there is no danger, nothing that can fall on you. Shall we do one more What one?
Yes, so
you
we
like,
have
Fabio?
earthquake, drought, tornado, hurricane, blizzard, heat wave, flood. What should you do if there is a flood?
Remember, a flood when there is perhaps lots of rain, lots of water, the river or the ocean expanding into the city.
What would you do in a flood, Catherine?
Ooh, I like this from Death Pigs. Evacuate immediately. I think, yeah, if your house especially is somewhere near the river, near the ocean, you need to, we could say, run to higher ground, maybe upper mountain, upper hill. Tatiana says, stay on the rooftop. Maybe you don't have time to evacuate, so you just need to go up. Maya says, get your bathing suit. Very practical advice. Lots of people saying evacuate.
Nice, good tips.
You
Okay,
all
so
sound very wise. I think you're very sensible, everybody. If you ever have any trouble with a natural disaster, you know what to do.
I think our students are very good people to have with us in an emergency, Catherine. So I think we'll be safe as long as we stick with these guys.
Yes. But remember, everybody, what should you do right now with the global pandemic? What's the most important thing? What should we all be doing at the moment? We need to stay inside, stay home. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's all the time we have time for today, everyone. So yes, please do stay inside, stay at home, keep watching these webinars. We'll have another one coming up with some of our colleagues from Italy in 10 minutes time. Thank you very much for joining us today, and we hope to see you again really soon. Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Take care. Thank you for watching.